516 and two 251 to the nearest hundred.
Okay, good. So, yes, make sure you only say and when you get to that decimal. So yes, 4,516 and 251 thousandths. And we are rounding to the nearest hundredths place. What steps did you take to solve this? What was your first step that you took to solve this, Trinaya? My computer is lagging some.
I looked for the hundredth place.
Okay, what digit did you see was in the hundredths place?
The 5.
The 5. Yes, good job. I'm trying to pull it up to where you guys can see me. This dog computer don't want to work when I need it to work. And I probably just made it worse by making it mad and tapping it a bunch of times. Okay, here we go. All right, now we ready. Now we ready. Yes, so Trinaya, we had our 4,516 and 251 thousandths. And you were right. So the first step was to underline our 5. We underlined our 5. What was the second step that you took? Is circle the digit to the right. What digit is to the right?
1.
1 is to the right. It doesn't follow the 4 or less let it rest rule or the 5 or more let it soar. Come on, is this one 4 or less or 5 or more?
No, it stays the same.
I'm saying, okay, so yes, you're right. It stays the same. So it follows the 4 or less let it rest rule. And that 1 would turn into a what?
A 0.
A 0. Yes. Remember, we keep all of the other digits that were in the front. So I'm going to rewrite all of our other digits. We need to keep our 2 as well. That 5, because it was, we said let it rest, that 5 is going to stay the same. That 1 should turn to a 0. But even if you don't write the 0, that 0 doesn't have a value. So guys, notice your answer should have been A. Even if I don't put the 0 there, 250 thousandths is the same exact thing as 25 tenths. 25 hundredths. Okay? So even if you don't see that 0, remember 0 does not have a value. So if it's there or if it's not there, the answer is still equivalent, meaning it's still the same. Thank you, Trinaya. I'm going to quickly go over our second problem. So we had, it says compare the digits 6 and 4,516 and 25 and 251 thousandths to the 6 and 3,278 and 604 thousandths. So now, remember, we compared place value relationship. I'm going to show you guys this one because I know that we were still practicing this skill. So we have 4,000. Everybody, make sure you're paying attention. What you should have done to first solve this problem, because based on y'all answers, I see we still need help. You have to make sure that you line both of these digits up underneath each other. So you should have lined it up. You follow along? Okay, line your numbers up. Now I'm going to write 3,287 and 604 thousandths. Now they want us to compare the digit 6. So I'm going to underline both of my 6s. I have a 6 in my ones place, and then I have my 6 in my tenths place. Now I have to think, is 6 ones less than or more than this 6 tenths? And I know that $6 is way more than 6 dimes. So therefore, I know that this 6 is going to be greater than. So any option that says less than, you should have eliminated that. Now I'm going to move from my first place to my second place. So I'm moving from the ones place to the tenths place. And I just moved over 1 time. So guess what? 6 is 10 times more than 6 tenths. Your answer should have been A for our first problem. Okay? I know this skill still may be a little shaky, but it's all right. We're going to make sure that we get on to be able to practice it. And so now we're going to practice our skill of the week, which has been multiplying and dividing powers of 10. And we're going to split up into our small groups for the day. Thank you for letting me know, Armani, but make sure you still in and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Miss Reese, once again, I don't have my notebook, so if you want to call on your students who are going to be in your small group, make sure you listen out for your name so that you are able, you know, where to go to get to Mrs. Reese's group.
Okay, so Tatiana, Mustafa, David, Destiny, Trinaya, Khadijah, Eliana, Jelani, and Armani.
So right here, you should see if you go back to block 2, Miss Richardson's homeroom, you're going to see Miss Reese group is already there. So if Miss Reese just called your group, you are going to go ahead and head over there now. I see some people are already doing what they're supposed to be doing. Good job. If she did not call your name, that means you're staying with me. And we're going to go ahead and finish our skills for the week. Jabari, you there? Cameron, you there? Put it in chat. Let me know you with me. Y'all with me or not? Put it in the chat. If you here with me, give me a check-in. I want to check in. Everybody who's here with Miss Baker, check in. Check in. Say, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Let me know you with me. Put it in the chat. Ashlyn, where Ashlyn? Ashlyn, put it in the chat, Ashlyn. Okay, thank you, Kendall. I'm glad you're back. Thank y'all. Thank you. Josiah said, I'm with you. Thank you, Josiah. I know you with me, Josiah, holding me down. All right, you with me? You with me? All right, Quan. Bet. Let me see. Jarvis, that's you. Jarvis, come on. Check in, Jarvis. You with me or not? Armani, check in. Are you with me? You with me? You with me? Come on, put it in the chat, Armani. Are you with me? Okay, I see Jarvis said he with me. Okay, bet. Y'all know I just gotta make sure and check on y'all before we get started because I want y'all to make sure that you're getting all the best quality instruction that you can. All right, so remember with our powers of 10, our 10 right here, that's the base number. We call that tiny number at the top, we call that the exponent. Make sure you remember that because I want you guys to make sure you're practicing your vocabulary. So if I'm asking which number is your base, you should tell me 10 is the base. If I ask what's your exponent, you should be able to understand that I'm talking about this number right here at the top. All right. So our standard for the week is we can explain the patterns in our numbers when multiplying by powers of 10 and also by dividing powers of 10. So our I can statements and learning targets, I can explain the patterns in the numbers of zeros in the product when multiplying a number by the powers of 10. Remember, here's our anchor chart. So if I ask you to read me an exponent, I need you to read this as 10 to the third power, 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, 10 to the third power, 10 to the fourth power, and so on and so forth. When we are multiplying powers of 10, so that means 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000. All we have to do is move that decimal. Either you're going to move your decimal to the right to get your answer, or you're going to move it to the left to get your answer. So now let's practice with our activator. I'm going to do the first one for you all. So that means I need you sitting up. I need you paying attention, eyes on the screen so you can learn the new skill. So now we know usually they give us a power of 10, meaning I would usually have 10 to the first power in this blank. But now they left it blank, so now we the ones who have to figure out. So now let's look at our chart over here we see they gave us a few exponents. They gave us 10 to the 0 power, 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, 10 to the third power, and 10 to the fourth power. But I have to figure out which one of these exponents will make this true. I know that if I multiply 3 and 3/10, I should be able to get 33 thousandths. But that means I had to solve it first to figure out which answer would be correct. So for 3 and 3/10, I'm going to start by moving. We see that step 1 is find your decimal. If we don't have a decimal, then we got to put the decimal. But luckily, we don't have to do any extra work because they already gave us our decimal. So therefore, now I know that I'm multiplying. So we're going to be moving that decimal to the right. And so I had to figure out, based on the number of times that I move my decimal before I get 33,000, that's going to let me know what my exponent is. So let me see. I moved over 1 time. All right. Well, that definitely didn't give me my answer. I'm going to move over 2 times. I know I need to fill this empty space with a 0. That did not give me my answer either, because that's only 330. I'm going to move over 3 times. Fill in my space with the 0. That didn't work either, because now that's only 3,300. Now let me see if I move over again. All right, now I have 3 zeros. It matches our original answer for what they gave us. And I moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So that means that we just multiplied 3 and 3/10 by 10 to the 4th power. So that was the answer that was supposed to fill in the blank. And 10 to the 4th power is the exact same thing as if we multiply 3 and 3/10 times 10,000. Now, you guys, on yours, for your activator, everybody, so get ready. It's your turn. I want you to bring, you're going to do 4,500 times what would give you 4,500. I'm going to help you out with the first part. Go ahead and write your decimal and your 45. So we got 4,500s. That's how everybody should start off with. Decimal 4,500s. Now, you need to move your decimal as many times as you need to in order to get your answer, 4,500. Once you have moved your decimal, write the correct power of 10 that needs to go in that blank. I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes. Go ahead and solve that. If you need help, guess what you need to do? Put it in the chat and say, hey, Ms. Baker, can you help me real quick? And guess what Ms. Baker going to do? I'm going to help you. So, but go ahead and try. I want to see that you at least tried on your own at first. Go ahead now. Let's go. Ashlyn, Raekwon, let's go. Thank you, Davion. Thank you, Roia. Thank you, Kendall, for already getting started. Thank you, Cameron. Good job, Cameron, for already getting started. Angelina, good job. Let's go, Jarvis. Jabari, come on. Paradise, Josiah. Some of y'all, I'm not seeing it. Let's go. If you are doing it and I'm just not seeing it, just put in the chat and let me know that you did it. Go ahead and complete this. All right, when you have finished it, press submit so I can see your answer. Go ahead and press submit. Raekwon, I like how you be having your little bitmojis. You done, Josiah? Good. Wait, what happened to Paradise? What happened to Paradise Computer? Friends, spokespersons, Roia, Zanaya, Kendall. What had happened to Paradise Computer?
It probably was dead.
Okay. Because you gotta go home. All right, let me see. You done, Jabari? Let me see. Ashley, what you doing, girl? What are you doing? Raekwon, I need you to show your work and not just put anything in there. Eric, I wanted to see the power of 10. And Jarvis, you didn't write anything. You did it correctly, Jabari, but I need you to write your correct exponent. All right, let me go over it. I'm going to review it now. So now everybody, make sure you're viewing my screen. So everybody, we started off with 4,500. So we brought this 4,500s down, and then we know that we're not finished moving until we have 4,500s. So look, some of y'all have miscounted. So I saw you might have put 10 to the second power or 10 to the third power. Let's look. So that's 1 time, moving 2 times, 3 times. I'm gonna fill in that 0. That's not 4,500 yet. That's only 450. And then now I'm gonna move my 4th time. So no, I just moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then I'm gonna fill that space in with 0. So what you should have gotten was 10 to the 4th power. You should have written your exponent in the blank. Some of y'all wrote the whole number in there. I don't need you to write the whole number. I just needed you to write the exponent. So now we know that 4,500 times 10 to the 4th power equals 4,500. All right, let's go ahead and keep practicing. Jarvis, you told me you was with me, but I don't see you doing your Nearpod. You need to type in the chat and let me know what's going on. Okay, thank you, Ashley. I just need to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's all. All right, so let's go on to our mini lesson for today. Can I have somebody read me our mini lesson for the day? Put your hands up in the chat. Who would like to read our mini lesson question for the day? Zanaya, I see your hand went up. Go ahead, Zanaya.
Kenneth is trying to solve 7.4.
Hold on, how we read that? We don't say 7.4. We replace that decimal with a word.
And.
And thank you.
Kenneth is trying to solve 7 4/10 times 10. Wait.
Times 10 to the 4th power.
Yeah, 10 to the 4th power. He chose to solve the problem using 74 times 10 to the 3 power. Is his thinking correct? Justify your answer.
All right, so then it says, are the following expressions equivalent? What does equivalent mean, Zanaya?
Equivalent means the same.
Yes, it means the same or equal. So we need to go in. So he's trying to solve 7 4/10 times 10 to the 4th power. But he chose to solve the same problem, but he used a different equation. He wanted to use 74 times 10 to the 3rd power. Is his thinking correctly? We want to know, did he solve this correctly? And the only way we can find that out is if we solve it. So therefore, this is an error analysis. An error analysis is when they give us a problem wrong and we have to figure out what the issue is. So now, Jabari, I saw that you said you wanted to help me. So go ahead and unmute. Jabari, we're going to first start off by solving 7 4/10 times 10 to the 4th power. Now, let's find our decimal. Do we have a decimal, Jabari, or do we need to put one there? So step 1 is find your decimal. Do we have one?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, we already have one. We had that 7 and 4/10. Now, are we multiplying or dividing?
Multiplying.
We're multiplying. So do I need to move to the left or to the right? Remember, when we divide, we move to the left. But when we multiply, we move to the right. Yes, we need to move to the right. Now look at your exponent. What's our exponent?
10. The 4.
Yes, 4. So how many times do I need to move this decimal to the right?
4 times.
4 times. That's it. So I found my decimal. I need to move it to the right, and my exponent lets me know I need to move it to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So, and I have to fill those empty spaces with 0. 0 is our placeholder. And then guess what? Miss Baker always rewrites her number after I solve it just so that it can make more sense. So I have 7, 4, 0, 0, 0. And I know and now that decimal is at the end, and after every 3 digits, 1, 2, 3, there's a comma. So we got 74 thousandths. Now we need to see if it's equivalent to 74 times 10 to the third power. Josiah, I saw that you also wanted to help me out. So go ahead and unmute, Josiah. Now let's solve 74 times 10 to the third power. Thank you so much, Jabari, and thank you, Zanaya, also for helping me out. Josiah, let's go. So do you see a decimal, Josiah?
No.
Nope. So since we don't have a decimal, what do we have to do?
Make one.
We have to place it there. Where am I going to place it?
To the right.
Yes, I need to put it behind my 4. You always put it wherever your ones place is. So since we see that this 4 is in the ones place, I have to put my decimal right there behind my 4 in the ones place. All right. Am I multiplying or am I dividing?
I'm multiplying.
So does that mean I need to move to the right or to the left?
Right.
To the right. How many times?
3.
How do you know that I need to move 3 times?
Because the exponent 3.
Yep, because our exponent is 3. Good job. 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to fill in my zeros. Now, put in the chat, was Kenneth's thinking correct or was he incorrect? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Was Kenneth's thinking correct? Yes or no? Go ahead and put it in the chat now. Was his thinking correct? And you can type it on yours, Angelina. Now that we have solved it, look, was his thinking correct? Yes, how do we know that it's equivalent? It's because we ended up getting the exact same answer. Good job. So all he did for the first one, he just started off with a smaller number. So 7 and 4/10 was smaller, but he multiplied by a greater power. But then this time he started off with a bigger number, 74, and he multiplied by a smaller power, but he ended up getting the exact same number. Good job. Y'all were right. It's equal. So he was correct. His thinking was correct. All right, let's keep practicing. All right, I need somebody else to read me our second problem. Hands in the chat. Who's going to read me our second problem? Angelina, you going to read it? All right, go ahead and read it. So let's make a prediction first, y'all. Let's see. And this is another error analysis because they want us to figure out, is she right or is she wrong? Think about, what do you know about multiplication and division? And look at Mary's answer, y'all. Put in the chat, do you think Mary is right or do you think she's wrong? Put it in the chat. Do you think she is right or do you think she's wrong? Before we even solve it, let's make a prediction. Let's make a prediction. Do you think she's right or do you think that she is wrong? Put it in the chat. What does that mean, Cameron? I need right or wrong, right or wrong, right or wrong. Eric, unmute Eric. So Eric,
Mary is right
you
because
think? Okay, go ahead. Explain.
10 is practically 1,000. Wait. I just noticed that was a division sign.
Yes, that is perfect. Eric, this is what I want you to realize. So guys, so first Eric was like, yeah, she's right. But Eric, you just said you realized it was a division sign. How did you realize that you just made a mistake? What does that division sign let you know?
It lets me know that practically she was multiplying.
Yes, she was
but
multiplying.
It was actually division.
Yes, when we divide, guess what happened when we divide? What happens? Does it get bigger or smaller?
Just that little minor mistake could
Smaller.
take.
Yes.
Smaller.
It gets smaller. Good job. Eric, thank you so much for catching that. So sometimes we even make that mistake. We make that common mistake with our problems. So now let's fix it. So let's solve it. So first, now we know that Mary, homegirl, you was wrong. You were wrong. You were trying to multiply when it clearly says divide, honey. You need to make sure you read your problem. All right, so now, but we got to see what the correct answer should be. So we have 8 divided by 10 to the 3rd power. So I'm going to bring my 8 down. Now I need somebody else to help me walk through the steps. Cameron, come on, Cameron, unmute. Help me walk through the steps. So step 1 is find the decimal, Cameron. Do you see the decimal? Go ahead. Okay, so since we don't have the decimal, where am I going to put it at? Do you remember? It goes behind the ones place. So this 8 is in the ones place, so I need to place my decimal here. All right? So now, Cameron, I need step 2. Are we multiplying or are we dividing?
Dividing.
Dividing. So am I going to move this decimal to the left or to the right?
To the left?
Yep, I need to move to the left. Believe in yourself. Don't second guess yourself. You got it. When we multiply, we move to the right. When we divide, we move to the left. So you good. Now, look at your exponent, Cameron. What's our exponent? Look back at the problem. What is our exponent? Look at the problem.
Ain't it a number?
Huh?
Ain't it a number?
It's 3. Our exponent is 3. So how many times do I need to move that decimal to the left?
3 times.
3 times. Good job. Good job. You can mute now. Good job. So I'm going to move it 1, 2, 3 times. Now my decimal is in the front, but I'm not done because I still have to fill these spaces in with zeros. And now I'm going to rewrite my new answer so that I'm not confused. So we have decimal 0, 0, 8. So really, Mary's answer should have been 8,000. She should have gotten 8,000s, but and we found out what she did wrong was, and I'm gonna type my answer. So remember, you're gonna have some constructive responses where you have to type in what she did wrong. Mary made a mistake by multiplying instead of dividing. She should have gotten 8,000. And we are done with our constructive response. All right, we did pretty good. Y'all did good. So I hope everybody is getting, used to this. So now we're going to use our last minute in class. Make sure you got that. Make sure you got that paper and pencil that I told you about. Go ahead and do your exit slip. So it's just one question. It's one question. It says the distance to the moon from Earth is approximately 2 and 39/100 times 10 to the second power. How is this distance expressed as a whole number? So make sure you have that paper and pencil. Find your decimal. Think about, do you need to move to the left or to the right? And then you're going to look at your exponent to let you know how many times you're going to move. Go ahead and use this last minute to solve our exit slip for the day. You guys did really, really good. I am proud of you for coming in. You were engaging today, making sure that you were paying attention. You were in the chat. So good job. Shout out to y'all. Let me see who's getting it. All right. Good job, Angelina. You got it right, girl. Eric, good job. You got it right, too. Let's go. I need some more. Let's go. I'm waiting. Jabari, look back. Jabari, check your work. Check your work. Make sure you are solving it using your paper. Don't just try to do it in your head. I want you to use scratch paper. Good job, Davion. You got yours correct. So if I have called your name, so Davion, you're good to go. Eric, you're good to go. Angelina, you're good. Cameron, same thing. Cameron. You got Cameron. So don't just add 2 zeros at the end, Cameron. It's not about adding the zeros. You have to move the decimal, Cameron. So just because those twos that we have 2 to the second power, that doesn't mean you just add those on. You have to go to the decimal, Cameron, and then move your decimal 2 times. So look back at that and check it. Good job, Kendall. Roia, double check your work. Josiah, double check your work.
I need help.
Okay, did you write 2 and 39/100 on your paper?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you move your decimal?
Yes.
How many times did you move it?
2 times.
2 times. Where's your decimal located right now?
Is behind the 2.
It's behind the 2?
Yes, to the right.
It should be behind the 9. Thank you, Zanaya. Okay, I got yours. Kendall, I got yours. Maria, I got yours. All right, make sure that you have solved this. Raekwon, hold on, Josiah, I'm going to show you how to solve it in just a second. Jelani, good job. Jabari, you got the correct, your correct
I just
answer.
figured it out. I made a mistake. I just figured it out.
Okay, good. Yes, Cameron, you are done. You can go ahead. I see we got some work to do. Okay, Raekwon, I got yours. Ashlyn, Miss Ma'am, what you doing, Ashlyn? Because you keep telling me it's lagging, and I know this quiz is not lagging. Jabari, you good to go, baby. Thank you for being up and participating. Jelani, you good to go. Josiah, let me see. Let me show you Josiah. I'm going to share my screen. Hold on, I'm going to check it in just a second, Ashlyn, because it was showing me that yours wasn't checked off. All right, Josiah, we had 2 and 39/100. So we know we moving that decimal to the right. We just need to move it to the right 2 times. 1, 2 times. That's it. That's it. And then guess what? You get 239. That decimal should have ended up behind the 9. Do you understand now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you might have, I think what happened was you might have moved it. So you might have did like 1, 2, and then you might have added that 0 in there. Make sure that you don't move too many times over. All right, go ahead and get you a break before it's time for Mr. White's class. Ashley, let me see if I got yours. Okay, I got it now. You may go ahead. Make sure you're doing it the first time, Ashley. See you tomorrow.